The Catholic Morning Show on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thanks for joining us here on the Catholic Morning Show. Deacon Mark Campbell in for Bo Bonner this morning. And one of the things that I've had the pleasure of experiencing is the growth, the expansion of the Christ Our Life Conference. Some of you maybe have heard me tell the story before that my wife and I attended the very first Christ Our Life Conference, I believe back in 2010. It's an every other year conference held here in Des Moines. And we attended the conference with, I would say, little to no expectation other than we knew there was going to be some great speakers, an opportunity for us to spend the day together. But as we entered into the arena, the now Casey Center, we spotted another couple that we had recognized from our parish at the time, All Saints on the north side of Des Moines. And we, hadn't met them yet. They looked, judging as we do from outward appearances, looked like a nice couple. And so we just sauntered over, introduced ourselves. And what happened that day was not only were we fed in a spiritual sense, we were given an opportunity to grow in our relationship with Christ, but we found our best friends. And we've remained, even though they've moved up to the great state of Minnesota, we've maintained a relationship that is both, I would say, rooted in our brother and sisterhood in Christ, but again, just journeying along through life together and the joys and struggles of parenthood and marriage. And this is just one of the fruits that can happen at the Christ Our Life Conference, which is coming up September 26th and 27th here in Des Moines. But as the event has grown and the intentionality put into the planning of the event itself is how do we make this a family event? How do we make this an event that can reach everyone in our community, no matter where they are in their walk of faith, their journey of faith. And we all go through life with questions and seeking answers. And this is a great place to receive some answers to that questions. But I want to talk right now with someone who has been a part of planning the day for the teens. And I think very wisely so. There on Saturday, there is an afternoon session specifically geared towards high school and college age people. So maybe a little over the teen age demographic, but for young people. And we want to go into the show this morning. Our next guest, Carrie Seberger. Good morning, Carrie, and thanks for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Good morning, Deacon Mark. How are you?
I'm doing very well and very excited about all the things that are on the calendar here over the next month or so, including the Christ Our Life Conference. So I want to begin with a question about what do you see when you think about teenagers and college, young adults, college-age students? What are some things going on in culture, in the church, that there are signs of hope for you? Let's start with that.
Well, I'm speaking from a really personal experience. I have 6 children, one recent graduate from college, 2 currently in college, a senior in high school, a freshman in high school, and then our little 5th grader. So what I'm seeing in my students, in my own children's lives, is the importance of fellowship, of coming alongside like-minded teenagers and young adults, and recognizing that they're not alone. My college kids have all attended the Seek conference. They've been involved in Newman Centers at their campuses. And just being able to form that community together is so vital in how they're growing and recognizing that they are free to ask those questions. Because our church history is over 2,000 years old. How can we possibly know it all? And so I just love the opportunity that we're going to have at Christ Our Life to bring together all these 23 and younger, high school and young adult kids to come together to grow in fellowship and community. And it's free. You cannot beat the blessing that is coming up for them on Saturday the 26th.
Well, we'll get to the lineup of speakers and things that they'll be able to experience throughout Saturday afternoon, September 26th. But speaking from that personal experience, what are also some of the challenges? What are some of the things that maybe have gone unnoticed or unchecked as we look at the teenagers and young adult demographic?
Yeah. Well, I currently work with our confirmation students in Marshalltown, and I have 93 students. And what I see among them is also great pressure to perform, great pressure to look as good and and as perfect and as lovely as all of the social media would have them believe that they should look. And it's such a trap. It's such a tactic of the enemy to bring them into this comparison, right? Which we say comparison is the thief of joy. And I see that in students. We've seen an uptick in suicide in our own community, and very personally, some dear friends have lost their sons. And I just think that the pressure that they are under is because they are trying to perform. They're trying to just grasp at this false identity that the world is saying that they must conform to, rather than what we strive to do here, and what our goal with our students is to just reach each one, to let them know they are beloved sons and daughters of God, and that identity, no matter their performance, no matter how well they do in life, that never changes. And so we hope that as we come to Christ our life, as we engage them in this experience, that they will grow deeper in that very true and basic identity from the Lord.
Well, before we get to the question of how do we get them there, right? Which that's going to be an obstacle and a hurdle. Yep. Let's give people a little bit of a taste of who's going to be there, and what the teens and college age students are going to experience.
Mm-hmm. So on Saturday, September 26th, we have a young adult high school college track breakout. It starts at 12:30. It has pizza for free. There's going to be refreshments and music happening, and then it goes all the way to 5:45. So throughout that whole afternoon, we are action-packed. There is something like every 30 minutes, and we're talking Chris Stefanick and Father Max Carson, Gabe Castillo, Crystalina Evert, Bishop Joseph Espaillat coming all the way from New York is going to be amazing. Charbel, Raish. I mean, this is star-studded, absolute amazing, and I cannot wait to bring these kids. So it's all happening kind of in that middle of the section of the day of Saturday for all of these 23 and younger.
We're speaking with Carrie Seberger. She's helping plan and execute the high school and college age track breakout session for the Christ Our Life Conference. Again, coming up September 26th and 27th at the Casey Center in Des Moines. Let's talk about some of these speakers. And let's, right out of the gate, Chris Stefanick, probably a name that is known maybe most well out of this list of people, because he is somebody who, while he focuses on young adults, he's a man with a family himself, so he can speak to a wide variety of audiences. And maybe talk about Chris Stefanick and how he is able, in what ways he's able to connect or identify and inspire the youth.
Yeah, Chris, I actually just recently saw Chris at the Encounter Conference up in Michigan, and he gave a most stellar talk about the power and the gifting of masculinity. And he speaks of joy. He is so practical. His real life Catholic is his whole ministry to just put our faith into practice in a way that is tangible, it's relatable, and it's something he makes it fun. Being a Catholic is such a gift, and Chris Stefanick just exudes that joy. So if you've seen him on things, if you've seen him as part of, Chosen or any of his preparation, he does a lot of things to help us grow in our faith, and a lot of his programmings and things. But to see him in person, he's real. He's a real dad. He's a real husband, a real grandfather even. And just to see him, relate to all of us in wherever we are. My son was part of a high school track. He's ninth grader, and he loved Chris Stefanick just as much as I did as a mom, middle-aged mom. So highly recommend Chris Stefanick, super amazing minister, and just a relatable, fun, amazing guy. Well,
and I think you're right. The part of his, I guess, charism, if you will, right, is that he has just a wonderful sense of humor, right? And so when we kind of think about matters of faith and growing in our faith, I think being solemn and stoic and contemplative is we're accused of not being fun sometimes as Catholics, but Chris Stefanick definitely dispels that myth, and again can speak to a variety of people, but he will be talking about masculinity potentially is one of those things that both young ladies can look for and admire in a potential spouse or potential mate, and for those young men to be inspired to grow in their own masculinity. But we also have Crystalina Evert on the other side of that, and talk about her a little bit and how she's able to connect with high school and college age individuals.
Yeah, Crystalina and Jason have such an incredible ministry about chastity and just reaching people where they are and helping to open their hearts to the gift that is chastity. It's not some, prudish, put down that we are just supposed to live in this awful state, but really to explain and open up the gift that is chastity, that is our sexuality, that is all of the beautiful things of the feminine genius. Crystalina does such a beautiful job in speaking of that. She's a mother too, but also I think for those young girls to see other people, and I think, just like with our own kids, sometimes you could say something as a mom over and over and over, and it doesn't really resonate until they hear it from someone else, and it resonates just like, I've never heard this before. And so I think that's such a beautiful gift for me when I think of bringing my confirmation students. I might be saying these things over and over, but for them to come in and experience it from somewhere outside of their normal parish experience or their confirmation experience or their home life, and to hear it on this stage that is Christ our life and just this fellowship with other people, but to see it and hear it from other people is just really can be eye-opening, profound experiences, and help them to grow deeper in the Lord.
Well, we've got just another minute or so with Carrie Seberger from the Christ Our Life Conference, and I just want to maybe real quickly, people are now thinking, I've got to get my teen, or whether it's their own child or a godchild or a niece or nephew or grandchild. Let's talk real quick. How do we overcome the obstacle of getting them there, and then how people can learn more?
Mm-hmm. First of all, pray. Ask the Holy Spirit to nudge their guardian angels to just help them to be aware and open to the opportunity to come, because the Lord can just so bless them. I mean, lure them with free pizza. Just have them, hey, you got 5 hours today? Could I just have you for 5 hours? Don't set the bar low, but also meet them where they are and just help them to just be encouraged. Hey, bring a friend. You want to just come to this thing, check it out? They will be amazed, guaranteed. It's going to be amazing.
Outstanding. Well, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Where can people learn more about the Christ Our Life Conference and in particular this high school and college track?
Yep, absolutely. So they can go to ChristOurLifeIowa.com/youth and everything they need right there. And they have to sign up for their tickets. They are free, but we just at least want to be able to make sure we have enough for everybody.
Outstanding. Thanks so much. Carrie Seberger, a member of the Christ Our Life Planning Committee in the college and high school age track that will be taking place on Saturday, September 26th from 12:30 to 5:45. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
What legacy would you like to leave? As part of the Legacy Society, your gift supports the future of the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. By participating in the planned giving process, you can be assured that when you leave this earth, your charitable gift will continue to support this apostolate and its mission of connecting people to Christ. If you're interested in including Iowa Catholic Radio as part of your charitable gift planning, call me, Belle Marasco, at 515-223-1150. Thank you for your prayerful support.